Hi, everybody. I did a video class earlier today where I talked about how the movie The Matrix, I think, is one of the best movies that talks about the dual reality that dreams expose. And I wanted to share that here with you. If you have another movie that you love in regards to dreams, I'd love to hear about it. And if you hang around to the end, I have a little bit. I'm going to do an outro on the other side of this that gives a little assignment related to the class I did today. Here we go. So teaching piece today. So I had another conversation. I keep coming back to this movie, The Matrix, and it came up in a conversation again the other day. And this is a client who I love often challenges me a little bit. He's like, really? That's your favorite dream movie? And like, what about Harry Potter? And I think he listed a couple other stories, and it made me think about it because I do love, there are other stories I love. I think The Wizard of Oz is also a great dream movie because it conveys that message of like, we have what we need to go home at any time. Like we go on this journey, but in the end, we have what we need to come home. I think the Harry Potter story has amazing narratives in it that are like super important. I wish I'd grown up with stories like Harry Potter. But it made me think. It provoked me to think, which is a good thing sometimes. And the thing about the Matrix that I love, and this comes up with my clients over and over again, is that the hardest thing about working with dreams the way that we work with them is that, in my humble opinion, dreams expose this kind of dual reality that we live in. You know, in the movie they call it the Matrix, and it's a little extreme. Like, I don't think we live in a matrix in the sense that like the outer world is completely fabricated the way that it is in the movie. But the movie was making a point that like most people live in a reality that is fabricated. It's built on a set of cultural beliefs that aren't really true. They're true, or they have an aspect of truth in the sense that like our culture is built around survival. It's built around surviving, and we're very good as a species at surviving. But that's only a part of reality. It's only a part of life. It really leaves out the depth of our emotional and spiritual being. It channels all the heart and soul of who we are into some kind of survival. So relationship wise, it's all about like, I have to get the love. So this is one of the traps I see the most of like, I have to get the love in the world. I have to find this partner, or I have to find this person, or I have to work something out with somebody. And again, it's not that all of those things don't contain partial truths. It's just that at the end of the day, love comes from inside of us, or it comes from the world around us. And if we're not connected internally with some different source of love, then we're all in trouble. As soon as our friend or our lover or our buddy has a bad day, then we're screwed because we're leaning on something that's also leaning on you. It's like this two leaning towers of Piazza. What's that place in Italy? The Piazza? Is that what it's called? Or Pisa? Whatever it is. We always call it the Leaning Tower of Pizza. You know, and one person has our day and then everybody's gone. It's really a terrible way to live. And I think it's true economically also. And again, it's not that relationship isn't important. It's not that finances aren't important. It's just that, like, we attach a kind of energy to finding security, to finding love out in the world, instead of learning how to find financial security and finding love and emotional security from a place of touching into some place inside ourselves and learning how to be with ourselves. And I always say it's a bit of a gross oversimplification, but I think it's a good simplification. Every dream, in a way, shows you your relationship to that struggle. it shows me something about, where am I in relationship to learning where real love comes from and how to share that love with another person, or to share even just emotional financial security with another person or with the world. I had a dream recently. I'm going to anchor this in a dream where there was this person in the dream that it was a combination of an ex and then another old friend, neither of which, I was excited. I would be excited to be with in the outer world. But in the dream, it was sort of an amalgamation of the two. And there was this connection and there was this love. And I woke up in the dream and I was like, ah, like, I don't want to be dreaming about these people. And, like I took a, I mean, actually, I kind of really pushed the dream away. And then later in the day, I was really struggling. And I was like, okay, I probably ought to like anchor into my dreams here. And then like my first dream I remembered was that dream. And I was like, ugh, I don't want to go there. and but I, like I've learned over time of like, okay, what's my dream trying to tell me? And then as soon as I like took a breath, I was like, there was love there in both those relationships. Like it didn't, this is kind of like the other dream I had with my two buddies. Like I have to have shame or repulsion about any kind of love, like I learned from those relationships. They gave me love, I gave them love in the best way that we knew how. And we all moved on. And really, I wish them the best. I don't have any hard feelings toward my old friends or my old partners. But I think, that repulsion is based on this idea that love should be a certain way. It's based on this fantasy ideal of what love or what friendship or what relationship should be like, instead of on the real complexity of what it's like to learn how to be in relationship in the world. And learning how to be in relationship in the world, really, it's a practice over time. I'm 63, I'm still practicing, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm happy to just be practicing. I don't need to have the perfect friendship or the perfect relationship anymore. I'm happy to just be learning to share the love that I have, that I learn about in my dreams. So yeah, just to re-summarize before we do a writing reflection, and just to kind of catch you up, Miriam, I was again talking about the movie The Matrix, and the reason that I love that movie having to do with the fact that it's really the only story that I know of that does a really good job of talking about this kind of dual reality that we live in. And I think it's the hardest thing to get in our work. It's the hardest thing to get, that like most of the world lives in the matrix. Most of the world lives in a place of, I think of it as a trauma and abuse based culture, that the people who were just surviving, we're just trying to survive. I don't have any judgment about that. I just think people get hooked up in trying to find love, or trying to find financial security, or trying to find whatever we're all trying to find, in a way that is a setup, because it's based on trying to find something in a distorted, if at minimum, a distorted reality. And if we don't anchor ourselves in some place deeper inside ourselves, either emotionally or spiritually, then all of those pursuits end up being a trap. There's nothing wrong with wanting and needing to find love, or wanting and needing to find financial security. It's just, if we're not on some kind of path of discernment about what's real and what's not real in this world, then we're in trouble. It's a setup, because we end up trying to find something in relationship to that partial reality. And then I was just saying, like, like, to me, every dream moment is kind of related to that. It's a bit of a psychic X-ray, if you will, of where I am on that journey. It's teaching me in some way something about where either I learn to get hooked into that other reality or some way that I'm learning to live outside of that reality. So for dream assignment today, I want you to just take a moment from a dream and be with it in the way that I talked about. Is this some way that I'm stepping out of the matrix, stepping out of the limiting belief systems that I grew up with? Or is this a dream that's showing me something about the beliefs that I've internalized that keep me from a deeper place inside myself? And just take a breath into those moments and explore it and see what opens up for you. And if you need some help, I've got a new Submit a Dream program going. I have a free option if you want just a quick intro to your dream. I've got a couple other options if you want more help. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Good dreaming, everybody.